What's up, you guys? Today we're checking out this video of a woman destroying gender ideology in 5 minutes. So probably going to be pretty good. If you end up liking the video, feel free to subscribe. Either way is totally fine. And we'll probably check out some comments at the end, see what people have to say. This video has been out for about a year. It's got a lot of views, and so it's probably really good. Let's jump into it.
Thank you for your testimony. The chair now recognizes Dr. Grossman for 5 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Miriam Grossman. I am a board-certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, author, and senior fellow at Do No Harm. I have been taking care of patients for 45 years. I'm going to use my time to respond to Dr. McNamara. First, I'm struck by her use of the phrase, sex assigned at birth. Sex is not assigned at birth. Sex is established at conception, and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Dr. McNamara claims that her views are science-based, but to claim that sex is assigned at birth is without any scientific basis whatsoever. Its language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true.
This is so
Dr.
good.
McNamara claims that social and medical interventions are the only evidence-based treatment and that scientific evidence shows it is life-saving. Without it, she's warning us, kids will commit suicide. Well,
that's the danger. I'm going to let her finish here, obviously, but that's the danger. And I did a video on Elon Musk talking about his kid with the same thing. Like, the doctors like scared him, and they're taking advantage of these parents and these kids and using this. Like, they're going to commit suicide if you don't let them do this. And it's just not true. It's not true, and it's disgusting, honestly. This is why this is one of the most dangerous things, I think, going on right now. But like, the fact that doctors and medical professionals are taking advantage of parents and kids and saying things like this is truly a travesty.
a growing number of countries have effectively banned the care to which she's referring. And thank God there's been no wave of suicides or other mental health catastrophes. 3 years ago, Finland placed strict limitations on medical interventions for minors. Sweden did the same thing after a 14-year-old girl was found to have osteoporosis and spinal fractures from puberty blockers. An investigation concluded, quote, the risks of anti-puberty and hormone treatment for those under 18 currently outweigh the possible benefits. The UK conducted a review and called the evidence very low. They've also placed severe restrictions on the care that Dr. McNamara calls life-saving. Norway also analyzed the data and has made similar changes in policy. The National Academy of Medicine in France warned, quote, great medical caution must be taken in children and adolescents given the vulnerability of this population and the many undesirable, even serious complications the therapies cause. Doctors in New Zealand and Australia have published similar statements. Is Dr. McNamara suggesting that all these countries are rejecting evidence-based treatment and placing their kids at risk of suicide?
Probably. I mean, are we really surprised? Are we surprised, though, that they're doing this and that, oh, it's probably not a good idea to give 11-year-olds puberty blockers and that it's not going to cause lifelong complications and issues? Are we really surprised? No, we're not. At least normal people are not.
Regarding that point of view, Finland's gender expert, Dr. Rita Kaltiela, said, quote, it's purposeful disinformation, the spreading of which is irresponsible.
Back.
All 7 countries, and Florida too, of course, concluded that kids don't need their development interrupted, the girls don't need their periods stopped and their voices lowered, and the boys don't need to grow breasts. What they need is psychotherapy. I have other objections to Dr. McNamara's testimony. She insists that her position, only hers, represents standard medical care. What she doesn't want you to know is that there is no standard. There's a debate. There's a fierce debate. And on the side opposite her stand such prominent figures as Stephen Levine, Kenneth Zucker, Paul McHugh, and James Cantor, among others. These doctors are giants in the field. They have been treating transgender patients and gathering data and publishing papers about them, and I mean no disrespect here, but since before Dr. McNamara was born. The point is that those veteran clinicians and others who have wisdom and experience are ignored because they disagree with the current narrative. They're against medical interventions for the same reason those 7 countries are. There is no evidence of long-term benefit, but there is evidence of harm.
I mean, that should just shut it up right there. That should just shut it up right there. The whole thing about it is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like the fact that this is even something that she needs to come in and talk about is insane. It's insane.
I'll end by quoting Jamie Reed, the courageous whistleblower from the Children's Gender Clinic in St. Louis. I believe that that hospital receives the medical education funding that we're discussing today. She said that doctors at that clinic said, "We are building the plane while we are flying it." We are building the plane while we are flying it. That's how they described the treatment at their gender clinic. Our precious tax dollars should not support such a perilous experiment. Thank you.
Yo, that's ridiculous, honestly. Like, especially when you're playing with kids, when you're playing with children's lives. That's my big issue. That's my biggest freaking issue with this. Like, okay, if you're over 18, if you're an adult, you can kind of do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting other people. You can make your own decisions, you can make your own choices. But if you can't even get a tattoo before you're 18, and then they want you to be able to do things to your body that are going to cause long-term health issues, give me a freaking break, bro. Give me a break. Let's check out these comments. What do we got? The fact that she needs to explain this to a room full of adults is horrifying. Yeah, it definitely kind of is. The fact that a child cannot smoke and drink or gamble but can take puberty blockers is insane. Like I said, tattoo. Sex is not assigned at birth. Sex is established at conception. Yes, this is a fact. This is a science. Imagine that. Follow the science. That's what a lot of the left like to say when it suits them, but then when it doesn't suit them, they don't like to follow the science. She deals in facts, not emotional rhetoric. That's just, yeah, this is, which is good. Like, we definitely need a lot more of that. 50 years from now, people look back and say, how do you let this lunacy happen? Yeah, they will. They will, because, like, you have to be so dumb. You have to be so dumb to think that this is a good motherfucking idea. And I'll tell you what, if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one.